Grocery prices in the US have gone up about 23% since 2020. So I'm not quite sure why you haven't started a garden yet. With the economic instability of the US, they're only going to continue to rise. What are you waiting for? Maybe you think that it's going to cost you a lot of money, or you don't have enough space. Whether you have a yard like mine, which honestly my yard is pretty small compared to most, or you have a patio, a deck, or a balcony, a small area where you can fit a pot or two, then you can start to grow your own garden to save yourself money. Today, I'm going to take you with me to the Dollar Tree and Home Depot to show you the items that you can buy that are really cheap, so that way you can start your garden oasis right away, and that way you won't break the bank when it comes to grocery shopping anymore. Let's get started with getting all the supplies that we need for our new garden. At the Dollar Tree, they have seeds, 4 packs for just $1.25. But unfortunately, at that Dollar Tree, they did not have a big variety of seeds to choose from. Most of them were already sold out. I ended up driving across town to another Dollar Tree to see if they had some seeds in stock, at least a bigger variety. Fortunately for me, they did have a lot of seeds. I guess people don't really want to buy seeds at this store, but it was good for me, right? Hopefully it will be good for you too. So I picked up a few onion seeds, radish seeds, summer squash, and so on. I also took a look at this potting mix. It was an 8 quart bag, but it cost $5. I was pretty sure that Home Depot or Lowe's would have it a lot cheaper, so I decided not to buy it. Next, let's head on over to Home Depot or Lowe's, whichever one has better prices for you, because we are starting this garden on a low budget. Now, at this Home Depot, they had a lot of seed potatoes, tomato plants, strawberry plants, raspberries, blueberries. All of these plants were already started. They're not seeds, they're seedlings. You can just put them in the ground and they're going to start producing for you right away, as long as you take care of it and nurture it. They did have a sale going on while I was there. The very first time that I've ever seen this in the springtime, that I found very interesting. It was that they had 5 seedlings for $10. It was a spring Black Friday sale. Have you ever heard of a spring Black Friday sale? Well, I never heard of it until I was at Home Depot that day. I think that's a reasonable price, but again, buying the seeds is going to be a lot cheaper. It's up to you though what you want to start with, but if you are on a really, really tight budget, start with the seeds. Now, remember that potting soil mix that I was looking at Dollar Tree? Well, over here at Home Depot, they have the 25 quart bag, two for $15. One of those bags is just triple one of those Dollar Tree bags at $7.50. So, who has the better price? Once you have all of your pots and everything where you need it to be, you're going to look at the very bottom of those pots. You'll notice that there are these plus symbols at the very bottom. Those are for drainage. You want to make sure that you push those out. You can take a nail or something that is pointy like this and just push them out. Now, don't be afraid of pushing them out completely, because you want to make sure that these holes are going to be totally open, so that way your soil for all of the vegetables that you're going to be planting can drain properly. Because if it rains down on these plants, or you pour water on them and it cannot drain out properly, it's going to cause the plant to be overwatered and then kill it. We want to make this easy and simple. So with every single pot that you have, make sure that you push out all of these little plus symbols that you see to create drainage holes. And then if they are not coming out completely, just take your finger and you can just easily pull them out. So that way they can have a complete hole at the bottom. So you should have 3 holes on every single pot, just like this. Really easy. I ran into a little bit of a problem with the blue ones. For some reason, they are not as thin as the brown ones. Therefore, I had to get a drill to drill the holes through. If you don't have a drill, just borrow one from someone to save yourself some money. Of course, with some brute force, you can probably get a nail through it, but my little plastic tool here was not having it. It was not going through. So I had to use a drill, and it's still working out just fine. So if you have any problems, just try to use a drill. All right, I am going to set up one set of plants here and then another set of plants over here. And I'm going to stack them in a pattern that I like. You can stack them how you want. It doesn't matter if they are all the same color or different colors. I just wanted to have a little bit more fun with it by having different colors. And got my soil over here, so I'm going to start filling my pots. If you have all of the holes taken out, all those drainage holes taken out, you can get started with filling the pots with soil. And then what you're going to do after that is start to stack them like this, one by one. Okay? Okay, that is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th one that I filled up so far. I'm about to fill up the 8th one, and I'm actually impressed that this 25-quart bag of potting soil has lasted me this long. I think that the rest will fill up this 8th pot. Now, I do have 3 more bags of soil, but I definitely don't have enough pots to fill. So I'm going to probably go back to the Dollar Tree and get more. I mean, because the pots themselves, $1.25, I could fit 3 different plants in it. They're going to last me year after year. I don't want to end up having the soil sit here. Plus I have this space. I mean, make use of your space, guys. If you have half of this, you can, again, fill it with more pots. So why not? You're going to use the pots again and again, year after year, as you put more seeds into it, or they just sprout again the next year, hopefully. So that's what I think I'm going to do, because this plot of cement right here seems to be about 5 feet or so by about 9 to, I would say, 10 feet long. So why not use the space and use up the rest of what I have to grow more vegetables? That way we are going to be spending less at the grocery store, right? I mean, why not? If you have more soil and you have more seeds, use it all up. Even if you don't happen to eat them while they are fresh, you can always chop them up and freeze them later, or freeze dry them, or even can them. There's so many things you can do with them. That way they don't end up going to waste. Once all of your pots are filled with soil just like mine are, you're going to grab your seeds. We're finally getting to the part where we're going to plant our seeds. You see how easy it's been so far? If you've never gardened before, it's really simple, guys. You're going to have a nice harvest, trust me, at the end of this. Now, all these seeds were just for $1.25. You can, of course, get them somewhere else, but I mean, you get the best deal over there still, to be honest with you, even though it's not really the dollar store anymore. You're going to follow the instructions on the back of the seed packets. They're really easy to follow on any seed packet, don't worry. Days to germinate is how long it's going to take before it sprouts. It's going to have that little period of dormancy, and then it's going to sprout. Depth to sow is how deep you're going to sow that seed, so how deep you're going to plant it. For these carrots, it says 1/4 to a half an inch, so that's about the beginning of your index finger. If you're an adult like me and your hand is about this size, probably about half of that beginning part of your finger to just that line about there. And then the seed spacing, we're not going to worry about that because we are planting in pots, so we don't have that much space. But we're going to plant just a little bit less, so that way they do have the space that they need. But don't worry, again, you have a lot of pots, so you're going to still get a really nice harvest. All right, let me get started planting all of these seeds that I have. Just about 2 weeks ago, my son Eli and I planted some kale and spinach seeds that we got from the Dollar Tree in this raised bed. And they are just starting to sprout a little bit. So soon enough, we'll be able to start harvesting some baby spinach and baby kale, which will be really neat. Over here is another old raised bed. Looks like it's coming apart, but listen, hey, we can still make use of it until it completely falls apart. This is where we usually have our strawberries grow. And I know it looks like a desert right now, but trust me, in a couple of weeks, we'll have some strawberries growing right in this little plot. See, you don't need a lot of space. This raised bed is only about 3 to 3.5 feet long by about, I would say, 1.5 to 2 feet wide. Of course, you don't have to have a raised bed like this. You can just have it in pots. You buy it once and just make sure to take care of it over the winter. You'll have some sprouting up again the next spring or summer. If you haven't watered your plants already, make sure that you water the soil and the seeds through and through. Just make sure that the soil looks like it's completely soaked, and then stop there because you don't need any more water. You don't want to overwater those seedlings. Now, something that I forgot to mention is making sure to label everything that you planted, all these pots. I don't have any stakes in the soil to show what's in every single pot, but that's only because I learned some lessons from that in the past. Like I've said, I've planted a lot of things and I realized that when it's bad weather, those little tags and stakes that you put on the plants outside, they tend to either blow away or they fade away. I'm going to have to get some more water. Even if you write on it with permanent marker, with the rain, after a while, it's going to fade away. So something that I advise you to do is either write it down in a notebook. This way you know where everything is. You'll know when to expect it to sprout out of the soil and when you're probably going to be harvesting it. Or what you can do if you're not old school like I am, I love pen and paper, you can write it down in your phone, or you can put it in your tablet or an Excel spreadsheet. That might help you as well. But this way, you know where everything is. You know what it is in every pot. You won't be confused or say, I don't know if I put tomato seeds here or I put carrot seeds there or peas. You don't know what it is. You'll be able to easily find everything and know how to take care of all of the vegetables that you need. Especially if you need a little bit more information, you'll know exactly where it is and which pot you're going to be dealing with that specific plant in. We know that grocery prices are not going down anytime soon, so I hope that this video propels you to get off of your butt and start a garden. Anything that you're not going to be eating over the spring and the summertime, it's not going to go to waste. Don't worry. All you have to do is freeze dry it, can it, freeze it for the fall and the winter. You'll have a lot of food to last you throughout the year, and then the following year you just replant and start again. It's really easy, not hard to do it all, and all you need is a tiny bit of space. If you've got 2 by 2 feet, you can do it in your front yard, your backyard, in the corner somewhere, a balcony, a deck, a patio. It's really easy, and as you can see, very affordable. If you don't like the Dollar Tree, find another store where you can get all this at an inexpensive amount. It doesn't matter to me. I just encourage you to start that garden now because groceries are getting just too out of hand. And there's no reason why you can't have fresh fruits and vegetables most of the time without having to break the bank. Now, if you started your own little food garden just like this, and you have some tips that you want to share with people in our community that could help them get started, please share them down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel and check out this video next if you're ready to start your own prepper pantry, just in case even harder times are coming. See you guys next time.